So being like the unemployed friend is low-key so funny. Like, my friend and I are texting and she's like, oh my gosh, like this kid at work, blah 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 blah, and I'm actively in the liquor store parking lot waiting until they open in 8 minutes. I'm like, I don't know which is worse.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
Friendships and finances. This topic comes up about 110,269 times a year, so I want to put in my 2 cents right now. Yeah, here's some advice. Don't be friends with nobody who you do not have a mutual financial understanding with. You do not need to audibly say this, but you know that there's some friends who won't pay for nothing and some friends who will pay for everything. Just behave like that with them. There will be no problems. The classic scenario that people always talk about, yeah, is I went to a birthday meal. How do we split the meal? Listen, whatever you consumed and whatever you did, that is what you pay for. That is what I'm paying for. If we went to a shisha lounge, I don't do shisha. Therefore, I'm not paying for a shisha pipe. I'm not contributing any money towards a shisha pipe because I don't do it. Simple as. If you sat over there and drank 4 margaritas and I'm not getting no head, yeah, what am I paying for that for? Some people's belly is long and gluttonous like the flipping Nile River. I'm not paying for that. Like, as much as I'm financially irresponsible, I also, behave within my means of money that I do or don't have. Do you understand? Yeah? Number 2, going back to the understanding your friendship thing. If you have a friend, yeah, where if you pay for the cab, yeah, they'll pay for the outing. Or if they pay for the party, you'll pay for the drinks. Just that sort of mutual understanding. Run with that. Yeah, do that. But if you have a friend who, if you needed a bottle of water, they wouldn't splurge out the £1, why are you over here spending all £100+ on them, and now you're looking at them boiling like bloody chicken foot soup because they didn't pay you back your money? Just use sense. Like, just the whole point of this year was use sense and don't let money be a problem in this life. There are more pressing issues in this life than, actually, that's a lie. In this cost of living crisis, money is really a very pressing issue. But do you get what I'm trying to say? Don't let it be the decider and just be the reason why you're so basically is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. And follow me. Yeah. Just yeah. I throw that one in at the end of every video to just follow me for content and a pretty face.
Have you ever fell out with a friend over some money? Because I have. So I've been seeing the Ari and Tucson situation happening on social media. I don't know if it's real or not. But back in, I want to say maybe about 2 years ago, I had a friend and we both were in the same industry. So kind of both did dispatch and compliance, all of that, or whatever. So she came to me and she was like, friend, I'm putting on a conference. I want you to be a part of it, and I want you to teach the dispatching portion of it. It'll be a 2-day conference. How much would you charge? So me as a friend, I want to look out for you. So I'm like, I'll charge $400, just to teach the dispatching part, to speak to them and tell them, A through Z or whatever. So she never tells me how much she's charging each person for this conference, right? So then she comes back and she says, okay, so I want you to put all of your training material in a book for them. So they'll be able, once they finish the conference, if they want to go teach dispatching as well, they can go do that. I also want you to put all of your software that you use for dispatching on a computer that I'm going to give them as well. You want me to do what for $400? Remind you, at the time, my self-paced course was almost $400. So I'm making $400 per person off of self-paced course. So after that situation, I kind of stopped dealing with her. I didn't do the conference. I let her know that I was not comfortable with it. I felt like at the time, you was my friend. You should have been like, friend, $400 not enough. So I see her posting a flyer on social media, right? Y'all know she's charging each person $1,200 to $1,500, which no problem at all. Get your money. Your worth. Get your money. But I feel like, ma'am, you should have said, Tiana, you sure you don't want no more money? Y'all, she never did that once. She never did it once. I just stopped communicating with her. I just never reached back out to her. We both just never reached back out to each other, and that was the end of our little friendship. I don't know if I was in the right or if she was in the wrong. What do y'all think? Who was in the right and who was in the wrong?
Now, I'm going to say something that's going to ruffle a few feathers, but I want you to critically think before you go and respond in these comments, okay? Because I'm going to be in there. If I invite you somewhere and I know you don't got it, then I want that friend to always know I got you. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to insult you. I'm not going to make fun about your situation. I'm not going to ask you, do you got restaurant money? I'm not going to do that because that's not the type of friend I am. Because why would I invite you just to put you in an awkward situation? If I invited you, then just know I can cover me and you, because otherwise I could have came here by myself. If I know you don't got it, then I know you don't got it. Period, point blank. Money is a resource and a tool. It's not the end of a friendship. And I really feel like some friendships end simply because some people assume that the people who they want in the room, even though they know those people's situations, they will just figure it out and make something happen because. And it's like, no, you could have just not invited them and prevented that whole situation.
Here's the thing, right? If you invite your friend out and you know that they are struggling with their finances, and if you invite them out, you should expect to pay for them. If you do not want to pay for them, do not invite them out. Invite them over to your apartment or your house and just spend time with them there.
Everyone has that one friend that makes way more money than everyone else in the group, and they seem to take it for granted. Once you start making more money, you realize that that's what you've been worth this whole time. That's when you start thinking, wow, I should have negotiated for more. This is my PSA that it's time for you to become that friend. Apply for that job that you think pays way too much that you would ever get it. And when you get the job offer, ask for more. Don't let your company tell you what you're worth. You tell them. Work is an exchange of your time for a paycheck. It's nothing more than that. You should be doing whatever you can to make that paycheck as high as possible. You have to advocate for yourself because no one else is going to do it for you.
I am 100% the unemployed friend. 100%. Like, you can hit me up. We can hang out on a motherfucking Tuesday. It's going up on a Tuesday, bitch. I don't care. I'm so unemployed. Every day is Friday. All the days just blend together. I'm like, what day is it? Because I do what I want every fucking day. Unemployed shit. Queen shit, bitch.
How much is it to rent the movie? Oh, $30? $30? Yeah, let's get it. My tire had a flat the other day, so I took it in. They were like, you should get new tires soon. So I just got all four. You know, might as well. I'm there. Let's see what the check is. Oh, $300. I was expecting it to be way more. Baxter got into something the other day. I took him to the vet. Luckily, it was only $500. Could have been way worse. I'm sorry, officer. Yep, I'll take that ticket. Oh, $200? Do you guys take cash?
You need to check in on your unemployed friend. I'm telling you right now, this is a PSA, you need to check in on your unemployed friend, and not just to see if they're doing okay, they're probably not, it's shit market, but because they've got something going on. You know what I mean? The thing about your unemployed friend is they've got nothing but time. And with abundance of time, because an abundance of opportunity. Opportunity for what, you ask? Something. I don't know what exactly, but I guarantee you, your unemployed friend has a story or two to share. Something's going on in their life. Something interesting. More interesting than you and your 9 to 5. I'm telling you. Grab a bucket of popcorn. Call up your unemployed friend. Say, hey, how's it going? What are you doing right now? What are you doing right now? What's up? What's the tea? What are you doing for the plot right now? I guarantee it. They have a story. I promise you they'll have a story. If you are the unemployed friend, please, for the love of all things good in this world, let us know what you're up to right now. What's going on? What are you doing for the plot right now? What's the tea? What's the story? I know there's something. Don't tell me there's not, because I know there is. I am the unemployed friend, so I know there is. What is the tea? Please let us know what it is. Love you, mean it.
Everything really does boil right back down to money, though. Think about it. Imagine if you and your friends had endless money, millionaires, billionaires, whatever, and your friend got locked up, and you went to bail her out. Y'all wouldn't fight about, oh, you need to pay me back for that. That's just probably something y'all do. I said that particular example because I just saw a video that was talking about that. talking about you just passed the bar exam, but you had to go bail your friend out of jail while you were celebrating, something like that. And then I thought of this, and I'm like, all of our issues really do stem right back down to money, though. A lot of the things that we argue and fight about, imagine if that part of it wasn't an issue between you and all your friends. Like, I cannot wait to experience that. We just don't fight about money.
Shout out to all my unemployed people, but you see my unemployed friends, yeah, they be calling you at crazy times, yeah, talking about the randomest BS. How come my boy, yeah, call me on a Monday at 11 something, talking about, yo, what age do you think it's calm to start chatting to baby moves? But I said, bro, fuck off. Put the can save that convo for the weekend when we're playing pro clubs. Why are you calling me at that time? Yeah, because I'm not in the office anymore. He thinks he can just call me whenever. Bro, I am still working, yeah? Even Monday to Friday, you can't call people on that type of BS. You can't. Please, guys. Yeah, to all my unemployed people, just be on Indeed, bro. Like, actually, no, let me not take the piss out of you guys. Because being unemployed is actually dark. But, like, please, to your employed friends, call when it's like after 5 at least. After 5, ask me what age is it calm to chat to baby moves. And then I might give you an answer. But at 11 something on a Monday, oh my, I'm just about getting through the morning.
This may be a hot take. It actually may not be, but I do not think it is a good idea to lend money to your friends. They always say don't mix business with pleasure, don't mix money with friendships. I think there are very, very, very few times when it's a good idea. Like, I'm obviously reminded of the whole like Carrie and Charlotte situation in Sex and the City, where Carrie basically asks Charlotte to loan her money to pay off her like debt. Obviously that's a very extreme example with a lot of money. Even smaller amounts of money causes problems in relationships so often in general. Like, you see family members arguing over money. You see friends arguing over, oh, you didn't Venmo me this or blah, blah, blah. Like, I have a friend who's going through this right now. She was telling me, she's like, it's really awkward when you lend somebody money, you know they haven't paid you back, and then you see them like out shopping and like spending money on shit, or like they ask you to Venmo them for dinner and you're like, babe, you owe me $500. Like, oh my God. And it's awkward. It's awkward. Here's the thing. I love to treat my friends. I am happy to pick up the bill at dinner. I'm happy to buy your coffee. I want to give you gifts. Like, especially when my money's really up, like, I want to treat my friends. I love to host. I love to be the person to be generous with my friends and family. Like, that is why I want to make lots of money, is because I want to treat the people in my life generously. There is a difference when I'm like, I'm treating you, I'm being intentional with it, like I want to do this for you because I want to do this for you because I love you and whatever. There's a difference when it's a loan. It can cause a lot of tension and resentment in your friendship. If you can avoid this at all costs, I know it's hard. Like, if someone asks you for something, I've had to turn people down a few times actually, because I'm like, I care about you and I don't want this to be an awkward situation in our relationship ever. Let me know your thoughts.
I think that it really depends on your friendship. If your friend hardly asks you for money, but they're in a place where they actually need the money, but they always pay you back, they have good enough character to work hard and repay every single penny that you give them, then there's no issue. There's a clear understanding that, hey, I am lending this money out to you and I expect it back. And you do not have to really explain stuff to friends like that, because at the jump, they already know they were going to return your money, the favor, like they were going to pay for you too, or give you back that money as soon as they can. And it's not an issue. The issue comes when friends are entitled to your money. The issue comes when friends want to be lazy and not work for their own money. A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And let's continue the video.
If you and me are getting to know each other and you can't tell me how much you make, or you can't tell me like A, you're good with how much you make, or B, you're not okay with how much you make, and then tell me how much you make, I can't trust you. Because a girl's girl would believe in salary transparency, and my best relationships or my best friendships have always been with people who are so vulnerable, and like we talk about that shit. So I don't know. I just can't trust anybody who doesn't tell me what they do or don't make. Because I'm just sitting here like, why? Like, why is it a secret? We all know you make a living. Why is it... Oh. Why is it a secret? Share. It's all good. I make my own money. Who says I want to make what you make? Who says you want to make what I make? Just share. That's how you become vulnerable. Salary transparency is good, especially between women of color. Like, I can't trust you if you aren't willing to share vulnerable parts of yourself, including money. Like, it is what it is. We all gotta make money. I said what I said. Okay, bye.
So it's true. The unemployed friend really does have the most fun. Like, I just came outside today with an unemployed friend because it's my day off. You know, she doesn't have a job. But she's living her life. She's living her best life. She has the most fun. I go to work and I come back home, nothing else. But she does everything. Like, she gets to get up on her own time. She just does whatever she wants to do. The unemployed friend knows all the spots. She knows who to link with. We've gone to like 5-6 different places. We've taken pictures. I don't know anybody. And if it's anything, I've cut everybody off. So it's like, I don't even know who's out on a weekday. Like, she was talking about going to Miami like next week. I need more unemployed friends to do fun stuff with because they're having the most fun out here. I'm so annoyed because why the heck do I have to be employed? Like, I want to be unemployed and have fun.
Just a friendly PSA, if you have an unemployed friend, the words, "it's not like you have anything better to do," should never leave your mouth. Like, if you want them to like watch this show or read this book or like whatever, and then they're like, I don't know, we'll see or whatever, the next words out of your mouth should not be that. Saying it's not like you have anything else better to do is nuts. I can tell you, as the unemployed friend, I spend all of my energy keeping it together. So from the outside, just because it seems like, oh, like you're unemployed, you do nothing all day. Also, like, I still have my autonomy. So whether or not I have a job to fill my time or not, if it's not something I want to do, I'm not gonna do it.
Okay, we need to talk about the wealth gap in adult friendships. And it really reminds me of this Friends episode. I think it's called like the one with 5 steaks and an eggplant. And in this episode, you could really see the like wealth or earnings disparity between the group, where one half of the group, I think it was Rachel, Joey, and Phoebe, earned a lot less than Monica, Chandler, and Ross, and you could see how it impacted them in their daily lives, their daily decisions, and activities that they did together as a group. And a couple of things happen when your friends either earn more or less than you. If you're the friend that's earning less than someone, it's very much in your face how unfair some of the advantages that the friend who earns more has. And on the other hand, if you're quite good friends, you may find it hard to actually keep up with their lifestyle, and you might feel like you're holding them back from having fun when there are certain activities or trips or anything that you can't actually afford to do as easily as they can. And that leads to a lot of harbored like resentment and feeling like you're a burden on either someone or a friendship group. Credit Karma actually did a study where they found that literally 88% of millennials took on debt after spending more time with wealthier friends. And if you're not able to kind of communicate those feelings as easily as you think, and they're hard feelings to actually communicate and talk about openly, when you feel that resentment and burdenment against someone else, when you can't communicate that properly, you might find yourself like excluding yourself on purpose from things that you can't afford to do, or just leaving yourself out. It can be a really lonely time. And if you do have friends that offer to help out, it just feels even more embarrassing. And there are two things at play here. There are wealthy people who may be too ashamed to actually talk about their wealth, so that when you say, oh, I feel left out, or I feel like I can't afford to do X, Y, and Z, they may say, oh, me too, I'm so broke. And you might feel like that's even more frustrating to have a conversation or an open conversation with. But if you truly value the friendships that you do have, having that open channel of communication talking about your feelings, what you can and can't afford to do, and also how the general activities of your friendship group impact you, talking about them openly will help long term, and encouraging that kind of two-way conversation as well. And there is a great article on Psychology Today on how to facilitate this open conversation and also prepare for it yourself that I'm going to place on the screen here, and I highly recommend doing that, because if you want your friends to stay your friends, having those conversations and being honest is just going to make that friendship so much stronger in the long term.
Overall, I think that friends should really be in the same class, only because there are no expectations of a person being used or always having to pay for the broke friend, and everybody in that group can actually afford it. They can afford the trips, they can afford the food or the activity at hand, and it's not awkward. But overall, I understand that things can happen in life that is outside of our control, and I think that we have to take those things into account, especially in friendships.
I'm 100% that friend you could ask for money. I'm not gonna lie. And in my 20s, I would loan the money out, and if I got it back, cool. If I didn't, cool. However, at this point in my life, I'm 30 something. One, I shouldn't be needing to lend you no money. However, life happens. If by chance you need to borrow any amount of money, you can have it as a gift. I'm not letting nobody borrow no money. I'm not letting nobody lend no money. If I give you the money, it is yours. Keep it. Do with it as you wish. There is one condition. You can never, ever, ever in your life ask me for money again. Period.
Nothing is more humbling than hanging out with your friend who grew up rich. It hurts. I remember someone was like talking to me one time, and I was like struggling with finances and just like worried because living in Atlanta is so expensive. And they were talking about their savings, and they're like, how's your savings? And I was like, well, currently non-existent. Now I do have savings, praise God. They're like, oh yeah, I only have like 50,000 in my savings. And I was like, $50,000 would change my whole life. My whole life. I'd be going to the Dominican Republic right away, and I'd be getting my tummy tuck. I tell you what. But also, I would just pay for my rent for an entire year. That's insane.
I'm really tired of this whole Splitwise culture. I can open up the app on any given day, random hour, and I just owe $200 to people from like weeks ago. Does it really bother you that much to just like pick up the tab here and there? And I understand we live in a weird economy. We're not making as much money as we all used to. We don't have tens of thousands of dollars saved up, but picking up the tab is okay. You can afford $50, bro. I promise you can. When me and my best friend are hanging out, 1 week we get dinner, he'll pick up the tab. No questions asked. He doesn't request me. 2 weeks later, he has a friend and it's me. We go out somewhere, they get some drinks. I don't drink, but they get some drinks. We'll get some food. I'll pick up the tab. $50, $60, $70. Friendship should never be conflicted with money. True friendship, especially your best friends. So stop being weirdo. Just pick up the tab.
Can we talk about salary discrepancies with friendships? I was just watching the Friends episode the other day where Joey, Rachel, and Phoebe couldn't do the things that Chandler, Monica, and Ross wanted to do because they didn't make as much money. And they always felt like bad for saying, hey, can we actually not go out for this? Or can we go somewhere more affordable? And then when they told their friends how they felt, they were like, oh, we'll just cover you, like we'll pay for you. And then it made it feel like a handout. This can be one of the most frustrating things in the world, especially I went to school in a city. I went to school in DC with some of like the richest people I've ever met. Let me just say that. And I was a scholarship kid who had no money, was doing like weird jobs and TikTok to afford doing anything fun. But I always felt like being such a loser when I was like, I can't go out. I can't go to the club because I can't spend $20 to get in. I can't go to that restaurant unless we're getting appetizers and drinks because I can't afford to get a full meal there. I actually just have to eat at home. Or when they split the check and you purposely didn't order anything and then you get stuck paying $40, $50 when you didn't have the money to do that. And it's so hard to bring up because for most of these people, it just goes right over their head because they are so financially stable that they wouldn't even think to offer a different option. Now, obviously, I have my own job and I make money, and I feel like I still always think about this because I've never had a comfortable relationship with money. I've always like been stressed out about money, and I think that's actually a good thing because I've never felt entitled to it, and I've always felt like I've had to work for what I have. Occasionally I have to hit them with the text like, hey, can we not do that? I can't afford that tonight. Can we do something that's free or cheap? We're literally talking about this right now in our group chat, like, can we do the cheaper boat option if we're renting a boat, and can we invite the most amount of people so that it's the cheapest per person? Like, I was gonna go to a concert last weekend. Thank God I got a free ticket somehow, but I was not gonna be able to go with my friends because I couldn't afford $100 on a concert ticket. Like, anyways, I feel like we have to all talk about that more and make it be a little bit less uncomfortable so that we're not afraid to bring it up, because it is a serious problem for a lot of people.
I have recently decided that the success of my friendships is fully based on our Venmo threshold. Let me explain, okay? With most of my closest friends, all my friends are close friends to me. We have a threshold under which we are not bothering each other with Venmo requests, with, hey, you need to pay me back for this. I feel like $20 is like a good threshold, right? For gas, for drinks, for this, for that, like whatever it could be. We have like a silent understanding that I'll get you back. Like if my friend buys me a cup of coffee today, I know that I'll get her back tomorrow. If my friend pays for drinks at the pregame, I got the food. Like you just balance each other out, and it's not even a discussion. It's not a conversation. It just is a natural sort of rhythm that you fall into with friends. I recently moved and I met this sort of new group of friends, and I sort of expect the same thing to be going, right? Like we just get each other back, and it's like a silent understanding. It's a sense of decency. It's a sense of character. We order appetizers. Before the appetizers have gotten to the table, these people are freaking out about like how many pieces they're going to eat and whether they want to like split it 3 ways or 2 ways or 4 ways. And it was so much drama before the appetizer even came to the table. They were doing the mental math of splitting this appetizer up and doing the math. And I was like, guys, like I can pay for an appetizer. I can pay for an appetizer that I'm not eating. Like it's okay. And in that moment, I realized that I am not going to be close friends with these people. Like, I think there should be a threshold under which, like, I don't want to be Venmoing $4. I will not ever request anyone, even if you're not my friend, if you're a stranger to me, I am not Venmo requesting you for anything under $20. But again, with my good friends, we know when you should be Venmoing the other person. Like when you buy concert tickets, immediately. When you book the hotel, when you book a flight, when you do all of this stuff, of course. There's no question. I've never had to hound my good friends and be like, oh my God, I paid for the hotel. Where's the Venmo? Never. It's a silent understanding, and it's like between us, it's just I will take care of this if you take care of the next one. I literally grew up in a culture where when the bill came to the table, our dads, our moms would like fight with each other to pay the bill, and the silent understanding was that the next time the other families got it. And that's how I grew up. I hate nickeling and diming people. I hate it. I can pay for an Uber. I can pay for a drink. I can do that for you. Not even about the money, because I love you and your friendship means that much to me. And I have been so lucky that 95% of my friends all reciprocate that. And honestly, the group of friends that I met recently, you're not my friends. You're not understanding the Venmo threshold. Ugh.
This only works when there's reciprocity involved. If there is none, and your friend is always trying to use you or something like that, then it will not work. But if I pay this time and it is a small amount for you, then next time you got me. The next time I got you. Like there has to just be reciprocity at the core of things like this, or else it can go sideways very quickly.
At the age where I really want to know, how is money going to affect my friendships? Because I know so many friendships of 5-10 years have broken apart because of money arguments and things like that. So what's gonna happen to me?
I feel like the conversation behind birthday dinners and birthday trips happen every 3 months. And I personally feel like some of y'all are just not good friends. Because some people can't pay for the whole dinner for everybody. Some people can't pay for living accommodations for everybody. But that doesn't mean you don't go. You go to celebrate your friend. Just because your friend is not in a predicament where they can afford to pay for your vacation stay doesn't mean that, oh, I'm not going to go because you should be able to afford to pay for the hotel at least. No, like it's their birthday. And some people are not in that financial situation where they can do that. Like, that just shows me that y'all are not real friends. And maybe it's because, like, most of my friends I grew up with. Literally, like, yeah, we're friends, but we're also family. I've been knowing these people since elementary school. We like this. So, I would never, I mean, if you can do it, I would love that. I respect that. But I would never expect anyone to just do that for me because they my friend. Like, I understand. Like, yeah, we might be getting into our 30s, but not everyone has the same financial situation. But as the birthday person, that doesn't mean you don't do anything for your friends. If your friends is coming out the country or even coming to a birthday dinner for you, you do something for your friends. That could be gift bags. That can be, hey, I got the liquor for the weekend, or that, hey, I got food, something. You can pay for excursions, something, you know, to thank your friends for coming. But no, I'm not expecting my friends to pay for my meal for their birthday. And I'm not expecting my friends to pay for the living accommodations for when we go on vacation for their birthday. If I can't afford it, I will not go. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to go just because they're not paying for it. That's not a real friend.
Guys, if you are in a friend group, you're there for the friendship, not for how you can use your friends to live a lifestyle that you yourself can't even afford. That is not their problem. That is your problem. You are grown. You have friends. They have their bills. They have their own expenses to pay for. And so if you go somewhere, expect to pay. And if you cannot afford it, say, hey, I cannot afford this, so I'm not going to go. And if they still want you to go and they offer to pay for you, then that's fine. Other than that, do not expect them to pay for you and still try to force yourself to go and expect your friends to pay for you. That is not their job to pay for you. You're a grown adult, pay for yourself. If you can't pay for yourself, explain that to your friends.
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.